What will the new King of Asgard be willing to risk for a moment of reprieve, a chance to stop and think? Well, let's hop into the pages of Thor issue number 9 and find out together, shall we? So then, this issue opens up with actually a bit of an interesting little history lesson. We hear the tale of Odin, the great golden eagle who battled against the horrifying serpent. This was a battle so epic it was written in the stars itself, and King Odin knew it was only a matter of time before he would eventually need to pass this great cosmic battle on to his son Thor. But as you'll probably recall, Thor in his youth was a bit of a rambunctious a-hole, and as such, Odin had to do some tough love parenting to teach Thor how to be a better man and a better god. This involved the creation of an alternate human persona, Dr. Donald Blake, a person who would serve essentially as Thor's shadow. When the situation called for it, Thor and Donald Blake could swap places, and for the last couple years, Thor hasn't had much need for Donald Blake, so where did he go? Well, to a beautiful, idealistic dream world, of course. A special, never-ending dimension of his own where people always smiled and the sun always shone upon his face. However, though, things for King Thor at the moment aren't exactly nearly as sunny or bright, and believe it or not, Thor actually wants to swap places with Donald Blake once again. Loki, king of Jotunheim, Thor's adopted brother and confidant, thinks this plan is positively ridiculous. But Thor maintains that he just needs a little time away, that the pressures of King, as well as the horrible visions he's had about the end of all times thanks to Thanos, are weighing on him heavily. Making matters worse, though, is Thor literally can't get away without Sif or any of the other members of the Asgardian court worrying, and instead of wanting to kickstart anarchy, Thor has called his brother Loki here in hopes that the former god of lies can basically lie and cover for him. In a nice bit of characterization, Loki is incensed and insulted at this idea that Thor wants him to lie for him. After all, Loki's given up his mischievous ways and gone back to being the god of stories and myths. And asking him to lie again is basically like asking your junky family member if they'll hold a little heroin for you for a bit. But begrudgingly, though, Loki ultimately does acquiesce to Thor's request. After all, he does know that Thor is keeping some pretty big secret from him right now about the end of the world. And given the fact that Asgardian magic is unfurling at the moment and anyone and everyone, including him, can wield Mjolnir, surely this must be very important to Thor, not just to swap out with Donald Blake, but to be able to enter an otherworldly state wherein he can commune to the dead kings of the past. Here's the thing though, the second Thor brings his hammer down and begins the teleportation process, things already seem to be going terribly wrong. The old kings of the past? Look at Thor genuinely frightened and a little afraid too, emotions that Thor really is not used to getting in these types of situations. And as far as Donald Blake's beautiful paradise dream dimension, it has not been a dream for a long time. It has become a horrifying, twisted nightmare realm. It would seem at some point during the last few decades while Thor has been gallivanting around having his crazy adventures, Donald Blake became, well, self-aware. His beautiful paradise was not a beautiful paradise, but a horrifying cage meant to trap him. He would often call out for Thor to help him, but help never came. And it wasn't long after that that Donald Blake started to truly go mad under all the pressure. He even killed all the other denizens of this world, cutting them open to try and find the secret to escape. And now this mad Blake is free in the real world once again. Loki, sensing that there's something horribly wrong here, tries to stop Blake, only to realize, ooh, he's had a lot of time to train and master himself. Which means not only has he had a lot of time to think about all the ways he's going to beat up gods like Loki, he fully declares that he will no longer be a shadow to Thor, no longer a puppet to any god, and breaks his cane, his connection to Thor, over his knee as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Thor issue number 9, everybody, and man, I gotta say, Donny Cates really comes in with a big brain idea for this newest Thor arc. Donald Blake is one of those pieces of continuity I feel a lot of writers have struggled to truly implement, so much to the point that they stopped trying at a point. And I think it takes some pretty brass cojones for a comic writer to say, hey, let's bring back Thor's original human persona, but let's do it as a villain. Can't say Dr. Donald Blake doesn't have his own reasons to be upset, right? You would be too if you were trapped in a realm that you knew was ultimately fake, a gilded cage while another person lived a better, freer life than you. Donald Blake as a villain is also pretty brilliant too, because he represents one of Thor's greatest failures, and how can Thor succeed as a king when he has stuff like this hanging around his neck? I don't know, but it's a great place to start. I would give this one a 9 out of 10. Definitely check out this arc.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow, and help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.